Greenpeace says convicting 2 of its protesters for obstructing oil exploration will deter others from demonstrating against important environmental and social issues. Greenpeace's Executive Director Russell Norman and volunteer Sarah Howell will have to wait several months to find out if they'll be the first to be convicted under the controversial Anadarko Amendment to the Crown Minerals Act after a judge reserved his sentencing decision. The pair pleaded guilty in April to interfering with the world's largest oil exploration ship, the Amazon Warrior, during a protest at sea, and argue they should be discharged without conviction. Our Hawke's Bay reporter, Anusha Bradley, was at the hearing.
In April last year, Russell Norman and Sarah Howell repeatedly swam in front of the Amazon Warrior, causing the massive ship to stop its work for the day off the Wairarapa coast. They were the first people ever to be charged under a new law introduced by the former national government, which made it illegal to interfere with an oil exploration ship. In the Napier District Court this morning, the Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment's lawyer, Cameron Stewart, argued a substantial fine and a community sentence should be imposed to reflect what he described as the gravity of the pair's actions.
This was an intentional, well-prepared course of conduct that caused substantial disruption to a lawful commercial enterprise in circumstances that presented a real risk to safety.
He said Dr. Norman and Ms. Howell showed no remorse and have used the case to further highlight their cause. But their defence lawyer, Ron Mansfield, said Greenpeace went to great lengths to ensure neither the ship nor swimmers were at risk, and a conviction could damage their future employment and travel opportunities. But more importantly, he said it would result in fewer people standing up for what they believed in and affecting social change.
We often look back at other individuals in our community who are now celebrated as heroes for affecting change in a similar way in relation to employment issues, in relation to the right for women to vote, legalising homosexuality.
Judge Arthur Tompkins reserved his decision until September the 24th, though he hoped it could be made sooner. Speaking outside the Napier District Court, Russell Norman said he's glad the judge is taking his time to deliberate on the sentence.
This is one of the most important issues facing the human race, climate change. We're in a battle to save our kids from out-of-control climate change. This is literally a fight for our lives.
And while Russell Norman doesn't regret taking action against the Amazon Warrior, he says he wouldn't do it again, and he hopes the government will repeal the Anadarko Amendment.
I mean, let's remember the Anadarko Amendment only ever passed by a single vote. It was opposed by Labour, Green and New Zealand First. It never had a Bill of Rights vet. It never was given a Bill of Rights vet by the Ministry of Justice, as all legislation otherwise must. It never went to select committee.
Sarah Howell, who is from Wales, says a conviction could result in her visa being revoked, but she also doesn't regret the protest.
So being given the opportunity, I think, to put my body in the way of something that was doing direct harm was something that felt right, and I was really willing to put myself in a challenging position and to potentially take some damaging consequences to prevent a really, really great harm.
If convicted, they face a fine of up to $50,000 each or up to 1 year in prison. In Napier for Checkpoint, Anusha Bradley.